going to talk about why would we choose Chrome devices, especially for signage. So the very first one, a big one that's a constant threat is, security on the devices. So yes, Chromium is an open source based operating system, but there's also the enterprise side of it too, which includes things like a trusted platform module chip on the device, which also ties into verified boot. And what that is a way to verify that only code that is developed, by Google, only trusted code is going to be able to run on that device. Otherwise, it's going to completely wipe that what's called the stateful partition, and it's going to completely wipe that, and there's going to be no user data that's accessible if there is a detection that some tampering has been done with low-level operating system. The other big part about security is rolling updates, and one of the things that we see with other platforms is that out-of-date software is typically one of the biggest security holes that you'll find in 99% of devices out there. So whether that's, SSL updates, different cryptology updates and different, 0 days that have been discovered and then patched later, a lot of the time those updates will not find their way into older versions of software. So keeping that device up to date is obviously one of the most important things, especially with a digital signage device where you go and you install it and you don't expect to really physically go and mess with the device very often. At least that's the idea. You want something that you can sort of set it and forget it. And that's one of the reasons we've chosen Chrome devices is rolling updates. Out of the box, they are set to automatically update and automatically download and install the most recent version of Chrome OS. Now, you do have the ability to set that up where you choose, when you do those updates, but it's one of those things where out of the box, it's set up so it's always going to be up to date and it's always going to have the most recent version of, any security vulnerabilities that have been patched. So once again, one of the reasons we choose that is just because we want a set and forget device that updates automatically. Another great part about Chrome OS is the single app kiosk mode, and that's especially useful in digital signage. So this is going to be something that could be installed in public, whether it's, at a school, whether it's in the hallway, or, also in other verticals too, whether it's retail or an office environment. You don't want somebody to be able to go in and, swipe down from the top and get out of the browser and get into any other applications. You want it to be locked into just your app. So Chrome out of the box gives us a single app kiosk mode. So you have the ability to set the Arreya app, the Arreya client application, as the only application that's going to be able to be ran on that device. And then after a reboot, it comes right back to the Arreya application. And the only way to get out of that is if you have physical access to the device to reboot it, and then if you have a physical keyboard hooked up to it and know the key commands to get out of there. So, it's something that you can put inside an enclosure, and the only way to be able to modify that is going to be either remotely or physically going in and removing that device. One of the biggest reasons we've chosen Chrome devices as one of our primary deployment methods is the ability to remotely manage them. And the cool part about it is these devices can be managed from anywhere. So if it's something where you have a district office in a central location and maybe you have, 20, 30 different schools with 20, to 50 different Chrome devices at every single location, you have the ability to remotely manage that right from your office at the, district office. Or even something where, you don't even want to walk down the hallway to check on the device. You can do it right from your office. So with the Chrome Enterprise product, you get access to the Google Admin Console, and there you can not only screenshot, you can remote into the device and see what's happening. If somebody calls you and says the screen is displaying blank, you can go in and you can remote into that device and see what the device is actually outputting to see if the content is playing. You can also reboot it, but another big thing about it is you have the ability to remotely configure device policies. So whether that is if you have a new wireless network getting set up and you want to pre-program in that information. So as soon as you swap that over, the devices automatically connect. Or you want to set a reboot interval, so you want it to reboot once a day, or you want to change around how often it updates and coordinate all the updates at night. You have the ability to do that all remotely, and you can set up organizations with different sort of folders or hierarchy of how the devices are configured too. The other part about Chrome devices that we really like, and once again, I touched on this a little bit before, but Chrome devices are made to last. So new platforms, they guarantee auto updates for 6.5 years, which is quite a bit more than a lot of other platforms. And a lot of other platforms too don't even give you that much of a guarantee that they'll continue to release updates for that long. And the other part about it is they have different form factors for, ruggedized environments. So something where you're going to have a fanless device that's mounted to a wall. They make devices that are made to last. The last one is the ability to sort of white glove these devices. And I'm going to explain this a little bit from the point of view of maybe an IT admin. So if you have once again, a district office and you want to set up, 15 Chrome devices and then mail them out to every school without having to physically go there, one of the great things about Chrome devices is you can really, once you enroll it into the admin console, it is permanently stuck there. So you have the ability to deploy policies remotely. You have the ability to set these up ahead of time, and you can be confident in sending them out to the school and just having somebody plug them in, and then you can go in and change anything up later. So the really cool part about it is you have the ability to remotely set them up and white glove them. One of the things we also do for clients is white glove these devices and pair it to their Arreya channel and set it up completely for them too. So they can get a device that's truly plug and play. It's something that you give power to it and an internet connection, and it connects to a monitor, whether it's a touchscreen or a non-touchscreen, and it plays the content as soon as they plug it in. You can pre-program in all of your wireless networks, any security stuff, whether you have to load, certificates or proxy information. You can do that all before you ship the device to the client, and you don't have to walk them through 100 steps of setting up the device.